Alexander Hayes sat alone on a park bench on Christmas Eve, staring at the decorated tree in front of him without really seeing it. At 39, he'd built Hayes Technologies into a billion-dollar empire. But tonight, watching families walk past with shopping bags and laughter, he'd never felt more alone. His phone buzzed with another work email. He ignored it. What was the point? He had no one to go home to. No one waiting for him. No reason to celebrate. He didn't realize he was crying until he heard a small voice. "Don't cry, mister." Alexander looked up to see a little boy, maybe 4 years old, wearing a red winter coat and a brown knit hat with bear ears. The child held a paper bag and looked at Alexander with serious, concerned eyes. "I'm okay," Alexander said, quickly wiping his face. "Thank you for asking. You don't look okay. You look really sad." The little boy thought for a moment, then said something that made Alexander's heart stop. "You can borrow my mom. She makes people feel better when they're sad. That's her job." "Your mom makes people feel better?" "Yes, she's a therapist. That means she talks to sad people and helps them not be sad anymore. She's really good at it." The boy looked back over his shoulder. "Mommy, there's a sad man here who needs help." A young woman hurried over, looking apologetic. She had blonde hair and wore a gray coat, carrying shopping bags. "Owen, we don't bother people. I'm so sorry, sir." "He's not bothering me," Alexander said. He's very kind." "The man is crying, Mommy. I told him he could borrow you because you help sad people." The woman looked at Alexander more closely, seeing the tears he hadn't fully wiped away. Her expression shifted from embarrassment to concern. "Are you okay? I'm Emily, and this is my son Owen. We were just doing some last-minute Christmas shopping. I'm Alexander, and I'm fine. Just having a difficult evening. Christmas Eve can be hard when you're alone," Emily said gently. "Owen's not wrong. I am a therapist, though I'm technically off duty, so I can't offer professional help. But if you need someone to talk to, or just to sit with you for a bit, we're happy to stay. I don't want to intrude on your Christmas." "You're not intruding," Owen offered, and honestly, he has good instincts about people who need kindness. She sat down on the bench, and Owen immediately climbed up between them. "Why are you sad?" Owen asked directly. "Owen," Emily said gently. "That's personal." "It's okay," Alexander found himself saying. "I'm sad because I'm alone. I don't have family. No wife, no children, no parents or siblings. I have work, but that's all. And on Christmas Eve, that feels especially empty." "That's really sad," Owen said seriously. "Mommy and I don't have a daddy, but we have each other, and Grammy and Grampy." "You don't have anybody?" "No, buddy, I don't." Owen thought about this for a moment, then made a decision. "Then you should come to our Christmas. We have too much food anyway. Grammy always makes too much, and then you won't be alone." "Owen, I'm sure Mr. Alexander has plans." "I don't," Alexander admitted. "But I couldn't impose on your family Christmas. It's not imposing if we're inviting you," Emily said. "And honestly, my parents' house is chaotic with extended family. One more person won't make a difference." Owen's right. There's always too much food, too much noise, too much everything. "If you'd like to join us, you're genuinely welcome." Alexander felt tears threatening again. "Why would you invite a stranger to your family Christmas?" "Because my son has a kind heart, and he's right. No one should be alone on Christmas. Because I know what loneliness feels like. I raised Owen alone after his father left, before he was born. Because sometimes strangers become friends, and friends become family." Alexander found himself accepting. He followed Emily and Owen to her parents' house, where he was welcomed with the warmth and chaos Owen had promised. Emily's parents didn't ask questions, just pulled up another chair and handed him a plate. Extended family treated him like he belonged there. Over dinner, Alexander learned more about Emily. She was a therapist specializing in grief and trauma. She built her practice from nothing, raising Owen alone while building her career. She was strong, compassionate, and had taught Owen to see people's pain and respond with kindness. "Why did you stop on that bench?" Alexander asked her later, when Owen had fallen asleep on the couch amid torn wrapping paper and new toys. "Because Owen was right, you looked sad. And I've learned that sometimes the most important thing we can do is simply notice someone else's pain and acknowledge it. You weren't invisible on that bench, Alexander. Owen saw you. And I'm glad he did." Over the following months, Alexander became a regular presence in Emily and Owen's life. He took Owen to the park, helped Emily with household repairs, joined them for pizza nights and movie evenings. And somewhere between borrowed time and borrowed family, Alexander fell in love with both of them. "I need to tell you something," Alexander said 6 months after that Christmas Eve. "When Owen found me on that bench, I was at my lowest point. I had everything money could buy and nothing that mattered. He offered to let me borrow you. And Emily, I don't want to borrow you anymore. I want you permanently, both of you, not as something temporary, but as my family. Alexander, I love you. I love Owen. You've both shown me what I was missing: connection, purpose, love. Emily, you let a crying stranger into your Christmas. You've let me into your life every day since. Let me stay, officially, permanently." 8 months after Owen had offered to let Alexander borrow his mom, Alexander proposed with Owen's enthusiastic involvement. "Emily, Owen found me on a bench on Christmas Eve and told me I could borrow you. That was the greatest gift anyone's ever given me. You've both transformed my life, shown me what matters, what family means, what love feels like. I don't want to borrow you anymore. I want to keep you forever. Will you marry me?" At their wedding, Owen served as ring bearer and gave a toast. I found Mr. Alexander crying on a bench. He was really sad because he didn't have a family. So I told him he could borrow my mommy because she helps sad people. And she did. She made him not sad. And then he stayed with us and became my daddy. So if you see someone who's sad and alone, you should let them borrow your family. Because borrowed families sometimes become real families. Sometimes the saddest nights lead to the fullest lives. Sometimes a child's offer to share his mother changes 3 people's fates. Sometimes borrowed love becomes permanent love. And sometimes the man crying alone on a bench on Christmas Eve finds exactly what he needed: a little boy's kindness and a mother's open heart. If this story touched your heart, please like and share it. Subscribe for more stories about kindness, loneliness, and families formed through compassion. Leave a comment about when someone offered you their family. Your stories inspire us all.